welcome to Zero Cool Gaming and today's anime review. Today I'm going to be reviewing a anime that in truth probably isn't even completed today, and it is a newer anime. Today we're going to be talking about The Rising of the Shield Hero. I'll repeat that. The Rising of the Shield Hero. What is this show about? Well, to say what this show is about doesn't truly explain what this show could have been, and should have been in that respect. Basically, this is an isekai story, a fantasy anime, where a guy from modern times gets transported to a fantasy world. I mean, we've seen lots of animes like this. If you've ever watched basically any of them, you'll understand the basis of the show. But that's not what this show was about. And neither is it what the writers were obviously trying to create. The first season of this show, I actually owned the DVD discs. Because it was that good. I have watched the second season. I will never purchase the second season discs. And as far as the third season, I have no interest in watching it at all. Now, for some that might sound a little odd, but it's because I've seen what is happening to this show in what is essentially a real-time basis. Let me explain what I mean by that. The first season of this show covers what today they would call problematic topics. It views things in a way that the social media and the insanity that is our entertainment industry today, as well as, magazines and things to that effect, this wokeness hates with a passion. The backlash that this show received for its season 1 was extreme, to put it mildly. And the reality here is that the company who created this show and the writers who write it truly, in my opinion, do not understand the dynamics of what is actually happening in the world around them. I can explain what I mean by that. It was obvious to me that the second season, while though tries to cover some problematic topics, was the writers themselves were edited, stifled, and basically ordered to sanitize their way of presenting topics. And it was obvious to me that this is exactly what had happened. And you could see it becoming more and more extreme throughout season 2, which is why I have no interest in watching season 3 at all or owning any of it. The first season, because the writers were allowed to write what they wanted in the way that they wanted to and create an emotionally driven story, that's why it worked. That's why it sold so well. That's why so many people were willing and wanting to put money behind it. The backlash they received was from people who will never put money into it to begin with. They simply hated it because it didn't conform to their worldview. And the unfortunate reality is that rather than the company listening to their actual customers who pay them, They force their writers to listen to people who will never support them regardless. It's sad, it's upsetting, but I've seen this play out time and time again. So I'm at the point today that I hope these companies fail. All of them. If you're going to sit there and sanitize your work for people who hate you and will never support you to begin with, you deserve to fail. Truly. If you're going to listen to people who hate you and do what they tell you to do, and then wonder why your sales continue to drop, you deserve to fail. And watching this happen in real time to properties that I actually like is depressing. But I'm not going to get upset about it. Years ago, 5-6 years ago, it upset me. Today, I'm numb to it in that respect. I just stop engaging with it. Period. So yeah, basically it boils down to this. It would be nice for these companies to allow their artists, their writers, to do what they want and present it in the way that they want to. Because the first season of this show was amazing. Emotionally driven, drawed people in. Didn't matter whether you agreed with or disagreed with the story being told. It was still told and presented in such a way that it was emotional. No matter how you looked at it. That's hard to do. That's an artist. And when you take an artist that is that passionate about their work and you force them to sanitize it, you end up with season 2. And it was obvious that some of it was just blatantly edited. Where the writers tried to put their passion into it and it was literally edited out. It's sad to see. Truly. And it would be, like I said, nice to see these writers and artists push back against this and say, no, if you won't let me produce it the way I want and present it the way that I know it will work, which is, with their passion and artistic talent put behind it, these people should just walk away. Let these companies fail. Let them bring in the second string of talentless hacks to destroy your work, and they will. Absolutely. And you guys just go create another company that will allow you to do what you need to do, which is create entertainment for people. People will pay for entertainment. They are not going to pay for this woke insanity. It's being proven over and over again, yet these companies still want to conform to it. They can't handle the outrage. Well, like I said, those people who are in outrage over it, we're never going to support them to begin with. And they still don't, even after they change it. It's not like anything changes in that respect. What happens is that those who did support them stop. People like me who would have say no more. They wonder why their sales keep dropping and more people are walking away. This is why. Because you've allowed them to edit and sanitize your passion and talent completely out of the story you were trying to create. I realize that yes, you are going to get hate for creating these things. That does not mean you will not get support for doing it regardless. Yeah, I know. It's just upsetting to see this stuff happen over and over and over again. Um, One of these days, well, and we see it with some Japanese companies, don't get me wrong. The majority of them tell this insanity to just go kick rocks, and they should. And as a result, they have been, killing it on the market. Manga sales over comic book sales have gone tenfold on the average. We're starting to see a few emergent companies in the comic book world today where you literally have independent creators who are telling this woke insanity to go kick rocks and just create their own. What is that guy's called? Young Rapper, I believe. Or Ripper. Young Ripper. Something like that. Well, although I haven't purchased his comic, I have watched quite a bit of his material over the years. And what like with anybody, there's parts of what he states that I agree with and parts of the things that he states that I don't. But the fact that he was able to go out and create this comic that is becoming insanely popular, I mean, whoa. Kudos, man. Absolute kudos. It's nice to see that there are people who understand the reality of the world around them. And they understand that, in truth, the vast majority of people are not in lockstep with this insanity. This man's insanity may be loud, and it may seem to be everywhere, but that's because it's supported by the establishment and the government. For whatever reason. Doesn't matter what that is, it's just obvious that that's why it's so loud. Where everything else is banned and censored out of existence, so it seems on the surface that there's only one voice to be heard, and that voice is the woke insanity. The truth is far from that. So yeah, if these writers who have created this want to succeed, there is a high probability that you're going to need to leave where you are at and create your own company to do so. Because it's obvious that the powers that be want you to sanitize your work, your passion, and your dreams. That's not going to sell, people. I'm sorry. Not in today's market. But hey, like I said, truly they're going to need to completely fail before that realization is going to come to fruition. And these talented people who are capable of creating these types of masterpieces, and I consider it a masterpiece, are going to need to break away from the establishment and create their own companies. I know that's not the easy route. I know that it's going to be much harder for them. But by doing so, you'll create passionate, great material that will give you the following you need to survive. Just, that's my opinions on this. Anyway, that's my rant for the day, and I hope you enjoy the rest of yours.